And so basically, I like to dedicate my time to provide educational content for entrepreneurs. I like to dedicate my time providing spiritual guidance from for entrepreneurs, for just people, right? I also teach, right, cosmetology. Um, so I work with a real diverse group of individuals that are amazing, and I teach them, and they teach me. Um, I also do energetic readings. I do beauty services if you're local. Um, so definitely, and I don't know if it'll show up now, but I'll put the link in the description box below. However, if you want to check me out, check what my mission, my purpose, and my current project is, definitely check the website out. Today, my beautiful hearts, I am going to be talking a little bit about what happens after beauty school. Whether you are an aesthetic student, whether you are a cosmetology student, barber, nail technician, massage therapy, what happens after you graduate the actual school, what happens after you get that beautiful certificate, you've completed your hours per state requirement, and now you're trying to figure it out what to do next, right? So when from and this is me like wearing my teacher hat. From a teaching perspective, we want you guys, and this is every educational institution, but we want you guys to be able to, just give me 1 second here. I'm just prepping. I'm just prepping. Just because I want to make sure that everything's okay. There we go. But we want you guys. Perfect. All right. So we want you guys to start looking into placements, right? So before you even, I just realized I have all of this stuff in the background. Let me make that a little bit bigger. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, so this is my first time doing it. Like I said, I'm learning too. All right. Perfect. Perfect. And then you guys can mirror my stuff. There we go. All right, you guys. I had to figure this out and play with it later. Honestly, I'm going to just tuck this thing here, organize my screens, pop this up there. So sorry. All right. Anyways, so before you even graduate school, right, we want to make sure that everybody has an idea of what it is that they're wanting to do, right? So where are you going with this certification? Where are you going with this license? And so up until this point, and hopefully it continues to grow from there, every school, every institution has a business program. And so, because of the amount of time, right, that we got to squeeze in to get you certified, and this is more like state requirements. So it's not necessarily us like, hey, this is how much time we want you to spend on this. This is what the state requires of us so that we know that the student has spent ample time receiving the type of training and certification that they're needing to receive, right? And so, at this point, because of that, we do talk and educate students in regards to business and placements, and building a business plan, operating, taking action towards your business goals, what options are available there. But again, you're already receiving so much information through that curriculum. So it's kind of like, you miss some things, and it's okay, right? One thing I've noticed is, in the last few years, in the last recent years, we've had a rise on the amount of students that are wanting to go solo, wanting to go rogue after they get their certification. And when I was doing my research, I was doing my investigation, we came out, because I did a focus group, and we came out with a few of the main reasons why they wanted to pursue a career on their own versus go and work for someone else. One of them was the work life balance, right? So trying to manage time, especially if you got kiddos at home or you have other jobs, other responsibilities, right? We're all humans here. The other one was people wanting to work for themselves. And so this was more about wanting to be their own boss, right? They wanted to be in charge of their own schedule. They wanted to make their own money. Another one was like not dealing with as much drama because that was a lot of their experience in school. And I mean, like, I get it. We are in the beauty industry, right? And we have a huge group of individuals that are passionate, and they got all these different type of personalities. So there is going to be friction. That is not something that honestly can be prevented. You can go to any school, right? That is a trade school, and there is going to be some sort of tea to be spilled. Um, However, this is all great, you guys. Whether you want to go rogue or whether you want to be, on your own, or not on your own, sorry, but you want to be under, a franchise, a chain salon, a corporation, or even a local business. Um, it's fine that you got these goals. It's fine that you want to pursue, XYZ. That's all great. However, what we found through our process of research is a lot of the students that are graduating and getting these certifications and licensure are completing that, getting their licensure, going rogue, and then next thing you know, within the next few months, they're either switching trades or they're settling for jobs that are outside of the industry. And to me, as a teacher, as someone that's passionate, not necessarily about teaching here, but really about seeing people achieve their dreams, that hurts, right? That's like a big ouch moment because we're not going through all of this hustle and bustle, right? All of these struggles to then go out to the world and settle for something that we didn't do a certification. So I'll do a little bit of my personal experience, and then I'll go ahead and hop into the lesson. And so this is how we're gonna roll with it. But let me see. I started my beauty journey at the age of 13. Um, but I like to say I had my first encounter with the beauty industry, and that encounter that impacted my life, right? This was maybe when I was maybe 10 years old. So I'll start there and I'll keep it short. But my dad took me to a beauty school to get my hair relaxed because, yeah. Anyways, to get my hair relaxed, and he took me to a beauty school. And I remember that, first of all, they were very sweet with me. They were very welcoming. But I had to wait on the girl that was going to do my hair because she had theory in the morning and then hands-on practice in the afternoon. Now, this is Dominican Republic, so our schedule's going to be different. And so while I'm waiting on her, because of course he's gonna drop me in the morning and thinking like this is a daycare, right? While I'm waiting on her, I remember that I was in her classroom, and they were covering the nails segment, and the teacher started the class by asking, "What is the difference between a men's manicure and a women's manicure?" And I raised my hand and I had answered something about like the color of the nail polish. I don't even know because my head was down. I was trying to like just take a nap. I don't know. I was a kid. I was bored. And I raised my hand and I'm like, the nail color. And she was like, that's correct. And that was my like first whoa. Whoa. First of all, I've never done anything beauty before. But second of all, the way that the teacher, told me that, and like the dynamic, the environment that we were there, I just felt good. I felt like I belonged there. Like, oh my gosh, I know this. This is within me. All right. So then after that, we proceed to the classroom. Everything's fine. We move into the actual service. And, the whole time they're coaching me through it or talking to me. They're like, this is what you should expect." And at the end, when my dad went and picked me up, and it was time to go, they were checking me out. I remember telling either one of the teachers or the campus director, I will be back. And it was because I loved it there so much. I'm like, I'm gonna be back. I promise I will be back. And so, long story short, I never went back. After that, my mom came and picked me up from the Dominican Republic. We moved to New York. We were there for a few years. Speed up until my teenage years. We ended up moving to Puerto Rico. Um, sorry, we ended up moving to Puerto Rico, and then after that, I completed my high school. Once I completed my high school, I joined the military. Once I joined the military, I was there for about 6 years. I knew that I had this program that would allow me to, go to school for free. And so, sorry, turn text my daughter. Um, go to school for free. And I remember that before I, ETS out of the military, after, before like my last day, I had promised my company officer, my company officer, my CO, that I would go to school. I promised him that because he didn't want me to leave the military. I was pregnant. He's like, do you realize what you're doing? And I'm like, yeah, but this ain't cutting it. So he's like, at least I'll sign your papers if you promise me you'll go to school. And so I did. I promised him that, and I liked him. He was a good CEO, but at the time, the damage had been done, and I was ready to get out of the military. So I got out of the military. We uprooted our lives, moved to Illinois, and at that time, that's when I decided I'm gonna go back to school. But what am I gonna go back to school for? And one thing I always wanted to do, right, was go to beauty school. Something I missed when I was narrating my background story was at the age of 13 when we moved to Puerto Rico. We were in a women's shelter because of domestic violence my mom had experienced. And I remember the group of women there were so supportive of us. They were so, so amazing. They really taught us to work with what we had because it's a shelter. So all of the resources are scarce, and it's Puerto Rico. So you don't want me to get into the politics with that. Um, but shortly after, we ended up finding a home, moving there, and my mom had become friends with this cosmetologist that had her own shop. And one day she gave me a cosmetology book because I told her I love beauty. And she gave me the cosmetology book, and I was probably 12 years old. Um, Give me one moment. All right. So, yeah, what's it called? Okay, so yeah, she gave me that book, and I started studying it. I had no idea what I was reading. Some things I did understand. Some things I was like, yeah, I don't know about that. And then shortly after that, she gave me the opportunity, and again, I was 11, 12 years old. She gave me the opportunity to do a internship. So I will go to her salon, I will sweep, I will clean, I will shampoo hair, and in return she will do my hair for free. And I loved it. I loved getting there in the mornings because at this time it was summer school and it was kind of like a summer job. Now, mind you, I'm not even a teenager, right? But again, life in the Caribbean is very different, and I was passionate about this. So I went there and I shadowed her and I learned the basics. And, I had that exposure as a kid. I was shampooing grown women's head. And I'm talking about like women that were independent, women that were doing it all, doing the damn thing. So I had that exposure as a young kid that's what I wanted to do. I had that. I love the environment. I love the feeling. I love the support that was behind it. So I knew from a very young age that that's what I wanted to do. So again, fast forwarding back, I went to cosmetology school. I got my certificate, and then I went right back, and I went and got my teaching license. And the reason why I went and got that out of the way was because I have a certain amount of disability through the veterans affair. So I didn't want it to wait too long to get that in case something in the future will happen. I had something to fall back on. When I first came across beauty school, one of the things that inspired me was the first one was Leo Passage, the creator of Pivot Point, which is one of the most common, most famous um curriculums used in the beauty industry at an international level. And his children, they put a documentary together for him, and one of the things that they said was that his dad, Leo Passage, wanted all of his kids to go to beauty school because it will always give them something to fall back on. And here's where we get to the numbers. The beauty industry grows every freaking day. Within the next couple of years, we're getting ready to hit $725 billion in this industry, which is a lot of money, right? And so that's what he knew. He had this vision of the future, and he knew that this industry was always going to thrive, right? No matter what type of situation, economically, physically, health is going on externally, you can always count on people wanting to feel good about themselves aesthetically, right? And so that was what beauty school became for me. That was what this certification became for me. It was always something that was gonna, kind of cushion the blow if something were to go wrong. And so I got it here into America. I had $20 in my back pocket. I was 19 years old, 19. I think I had just turned 20 years old. I was a baby. The only money my mom was able to give me for, the trip to the military when I joined was $20. I only had a black long sleeve shirt, jeans, and shoes, and my backpack with all of my documents. That is how I entered the US once again and for the last time. And now I find myself telling you that I was able to get a home, I was able to get a vehicle, I was able to build a career, not only in the beauty industry, but also in the wellness industry, which is something else that I'm passionate about. Um, and I was able to get all the things that I didn't have because we live from shelter to shelter. My mom was not the best at choosing partners. And so we've lost it all so many times, right? We had nothing. Every other 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, we will find ourselves at ground zero with nothing. And so here I am all the way from 2009. Um, that I entered the US. I didn't have anything. I started cosmetology school in 2013 just to be legal because I've been doing hair all my life, but just to get that certification because that legality, that licensure not only allows you to build a business, but also to make more money and do it safely, right? That's the biggest thing. But since 2013 all the way up until now 2024, I've been through divorces, I've been through separation, I went through money loss, job loss, health issues, three pregnancies, two deliveries, raising two kids all on my own. um and I've been able to be where I'm at today with a home, with a vehicle. My kids have everything they need. Thank God, right? I have everything I need, and that was all thanks to that licensure. And it's not just cosmetology. It could be what's it called? It could be a barber shop, it could be a esthetician. Like the beauty industry is so, so rewarding. And so I know that when you signed up for beauty school, right, just like me, you were looking for a new opportunity to grow. You wanted to be successful. You still want to be successful. And then you went through the journey of it, which is so extended and it's so hard and challenging, right? But now you graduated because this is training for people who have their licensure or are in the process of getting their licensure. All right. Um, but then what's next, right? So let's paint two scenarios. If you are someone that did not feel or were not necessarily um coach onto how to find placement on a job, right? How to apply, or maybe because of whatever reason you had to put that off and now you're finding yourself looking for employment. Here is information that I have for you. If you're someone that you are wanting to do a one-stop shop where you have nails, salons, beauty, aesthetics, skin, I got information for you. If you're someone that you're wanting to work on your own, like I ended up opening a very intimate shop, so it gives my client it's kind of like that really personal need to know type of vibe, right? And I do my clients on the side. I teach during the day, and it's only because I want to. um and then I do my energetic readings and all of that stuff on the side too, because I'm always making or creating doors for money opportunity, you guys. I don't sit still. This information is for you. So today's topic, we're going to be going over what to expect after beauty school. Like I said, we're going to touch a little bit on job searching, one-stop shop procedures, working from home procedures, and we're going to wrap it up with building a strong clientele. And so the reason why I want to go ahead and get started with this is because it's going to give you a solid foot, like a solid ground to put your first foot in towards your new beginning, towards your new career. Now, it is important that I go ahead and clarify with you, right? This is something that is going to take time, it's going to take energy, and it's going to take a couple of beauty huddles for us to get to where you're needing to be. So if you want to make sure that what I'm providing you works and you are successful and you are ready for the next segment, please make sure you got pen and paper. I'm going to be also I'm gonna go ahead and share that lesson plan. I might just go ahead and add it towards the video once I edit it. But you're wanting to take notes, and we're gonna have steps for accountability at the end of this. So let's get ready. All right. So after graduation, again, you receive your clap out. That's what we do at our school, or you receive your certification. You at this point are either scheduling an appointment or have met with your student success advisor. Every school have one or has one, and you will be preparing your package to mail to your state regulatory agency so that they can go ahead and process your paperwork, validate your license, or not licensure, but validate your transcripts, your education, your training, and then reach out to you with the scheduling portion of your state board exam. Here's a couple things that I don't know if you're aware, but let me go ahead and bring you up to date with. My beautiful loves, my beautiful souls, when you graduate school, before you take your state board exam, you don't have to tackle this on your own. There are schools, I know that mine does it, I do it. I'll tell you this, I do it. But I know that there are schools that go in and provide training after school hours. They give you study sessions where they prep you for the state board. It is the school's best interest to get you not only to finish their program, but also to get licensed and certified. Otherwise, what's the point, right? And so they make these resources available. However, if you don't know about them, we don't necessarily push them on. It's more like, if you are interested in doing this, let us know. We let you know what you have available, but we don't necessarily tell you, hey, come back and do study sessions or a exam prep with us. All right. Legally, we cannot do that. However, we encourage to study. We let you know the school has opportunities to do study sessions, etc., etc. We give you like little booklets that tells you what to expect, what you need to study, what is going to come out in your state boards. However, like I mentioned, we don't necessarily push that onto you because it is not necessarily the best method to do that. So after that, make sure that again you're meeting with your SSA and checking out what resources are available to prep you for state examination. For those of you like, well, I don't know if I should get my business license first. Should I get this permit first? The first thing you want to get is your beauty, cosmetology, esthetician, barbering, nail technician license. Get that out of the way. Once you know that you are certified by the state, you will have everything you need to then go in and start applying for other permits. But without a licensure, you're just gonna take one step back or one step forward, three steps back. So you just want to get that out of the way. It's fresh in your mind. You're more confident, and your odds of passing that test is going to be a lot better. All right. And so once you get that rolling, that's where you really get to sit down with yourself and figure it out. Do I want to work for someone? Do I want to intern someone? Do I want to open my own shop? Do I want to work from home? Because depending on what you choose to do, your steps are going to be different. And so let's say let's go ahead and tackle the easiest one. If you are wanting to work for someone and you don't feel like you have the necessary experience when putting together your resume and your new career portfolio, here are certain things that I recommend to all of my students, everybody and their mamas, because it does make you realize how experienced you are, but also it knocks out those job search jitters. And so, when putting together a resume, please make sure that you remember or that you are aware you're not starting from zero. If you have previous employment experience, you are more than able to combine that experience with your training and educational experience and create a new portfolio. So, say, for example, you were someone that worked in the customer service industry. Maybe you were a waiter, a waitress, maybe you were a cook or a bartender, right? You're able to use that experience in your educational training. And so you will list your jobs in your references, but in your job or in your cover sheet or in your objective, it could be or certified beauty esthetician or cosmetology professional with experience in customer service, managing, taking care of clientels, delivering services, troubleshooting or human resourcing, whatever experience you had in the past. If it was nursing, you can do that, house maintenance, taking care, or, scheduling their day out, or, taking care of people, providing support, going grocery shopping, whatever the case may be. You are able to use all of that and build a new portfolio for yourself. So, for example, prior to me becoming a beauty school teacher, I did human resources in the military, and human resources was that, right? Human resources. I was taking care of people when it came to their finances, to their awards, to their pays, their promotions, the whole 9 yards, right? And so when I put together my portfolio, I put all of that in there. So cosmetology instructor with a background in human resources, administration, customer service, finance tracking, scheduling calendars, community outreach, except I bombarded that sucker. First of all, it is true because I really did have the experience, and I'm a lifelong learner. So I always make sure that everything I do is intentional and I'm gaining something out of it. Second of all, it doesn't necessarily makes me look like a fresh new teacher. They already see that I've had experience in these areas, that it may be from a different job, but that's what gives me the dynamic effect. Not only am I trained for the beauty industry, but I'm also trained, according to the military standards or this company standards, right? Which means it's already part of who I am, right? I'm already excelling in the opportunity that I'm looking to apply for. Okay. Um, and so make sure that you're integrating that. That you did a collaboration. Have you done a model photo shoot? Have you done like a Peoria's hair fashion show? Did you participated in a community event for kids that are disabled? All of those things, you guys, that you've done, they are important and you should include that in there. And if you need help with verbiage, it's as simple as getting on ChatGPT AI, and putting in all of your experiences and hey, build a portfolio using this experience for myself and how will I be a great asset for this company. And ChatGPT will help you through the rest of that. All right, but you got to do it. All right. So it is important that no matter what avenue you're taking, whether it's working for someone or working for your darn self, you are maintaining the continuing education hours. You're maintaining the networking capabilities. That's something you don't want to sleep in. And so not only does this build a strong clientele, it also helps with collaboration within the industry with other beauty professionals. It helps you reach other markets, right? So that you can have more people funnel through your business. um let's see it provides more job opportunities, right? It opens the door to other people in the industry. Let's see, it helps you stay up to date with trends, right? And services, so that your salon, your space always has this fresh approach. um and so it also provides you with opportunities for mentorship, guidance. You want to stay competitive. I mean, if it's $725 billion within the next couple years, there's a lot of competition for that money, all right? So even if, oh, well, I'm not a competitive person, that's fine. You don't have to outwardly compete against someone. However, you're ready from the second that you clapped out, from the second that you even signed that contract for the beauty school, you've already in a competitive environment. You've entered the competition, boo. All right. So it helps you stay competitive, expand your service lines. You don't want to be one of those stylists that 10 years, 20 years down the road, you're still doing the same exact thing, right? You can do a basic, like, so if it's like working with ethnic hair, right? And that's your niche, that's your specialty, that's fine, but you're not going to be doing the same exact hairstyle all the time. And so it helps you expand your service line and provide better services to more type of clients and customer. It also builds confidence because let's be real. If you don't have the confidence, you're not going to succeed in this. This industry is going to at times make you feel like you're gonna have to step on a couple toes to get to where you need to be. It is competitive in essence, and there's nothing wrong with that, you guys. I used to be one of those people that I don't like competition and I don't like stepping in anybody's toes. Yet I had a whole trail, a whole history of people that not only step over my toe, they stepped over my soul. And I mean, like, I felt that at a deep level. So I got up one day, I'm like, you know what? Shame on you once, shame on me twice. And that was it, you know. And I don't do it aggressively. I don't do it ill intention. But at the end of the day, I'm responsible for feeding my kids. I'm responsible for maintaining my home. I kicked this dude out because I thought that I could do it better all by myself. Then I'm gonna do it better all by myself, right? And so it builds confidence, right? And also allows you to always stay up to date with your licensure because you'll always be in the know of what type of education, certifications are out there that can either continue to support your renewal process, but again, continues to grow your business. And so when it comes to job search, and let's say I want to work for someone just until I can get a step foot in, that is perfectly fine. That's actually one of the things I recommend. Either work for someone or shadow them, but please don't do this on your own from the get-go. I learned that the hard way. I went out on my own and I crashed really, really hard. Having that protection of a mentor or someone working with you helps you build confidence on how much you should be charging. Let's talk money, right? If I'm here on my own, I may be more flexible with my boundaries, which means I may find myself offering my services or lowballing my services just to get people in through the door. That's not what makes a business. I ended up crashing within 2 years to the point where I'm like, you know what, forget this. I'm never touching hair again. However, what did I tell you at the beginning of this? I was passionate about it. So that didn't work for me. And so now it's to the point where, okay, yeah, you want a book? Here's, I send them my email. Here's the link. Here are the services. And if you book with me, awesome. And if you don't book with me, that's cool. If you cannot pay me, then I shouldn't be doing this for you. Low key, I got people mad for me charging them after I've been doing their hair for free for years. And they got mad. And that was my fault because I created that issue, right? So after they got mad, I'm like, that's the perfect opportunity for us to divorce that client and move on. And then so I did. And so it's one less thing I have to worry about. And, they can go ahead and learn the hard way that these services take time, they cost money. The least they can do is pay you your worth. All right. So, anyways, when it comes to job searching, we want to make sure that we gotta plan this out, you guys. It doesn't happen naturally. It's not necessarily organic, and it doesn't land on your lap in the middle of your living room while you're binge watching Harry Potter. That's what I've been watching. Anyways, you have to take action. You gotta dust that funk up. Listen, I'm a Leo, so you already know I'm gonna tell you what's up. This is what I did. I got myself a nice fancy suit. I ordered it from Just Fab. I got myself a nice blazer, cute, very, very cute blazer. Got myself a nice pair of shoes. I went in and I updated the heck out of my resume. I had my sister look it over. I'm like, hey, give me some pointers. She sent me her, pointers. I went ahead and adjusted it and I started sending applications out left and right because one of them I meant to hit, right? And every time I had an interview, I pulled that suit out, and that's what I would wear for my interview. And for the longest, that was the one business attire I had that I wore to every interview because I was really serious about making things happen for me. So, I had to get clear. First of all, I want to go ahead and work under someone because I need that backup, right? I want to work and make sure that I'm not getting taken advantage of. I want to make sure I'm giving myself opportunity to learn advanced techniques. A lot of people are like, oh, I didn't learn this in beauty school because beauty school teaches you the basics for the state's licensure. Anything advanced, you either get it a la carte or you gain it at a employment setting. And so if you're like, oh, well, beauty school didn't teach me this. No, because that's not beauty school. That's not state licensure. And I got mad one time because I'm like, okay, I need to know what's the truth. And I literally sat there and spoke to an agent from the state board, actually from IDFPR, like, hey, are we supposed to be teaching this? And he's like, no. Like the fact that you guys are doing this, first of all, you guys are one of the only schools that are doing this and offering that. You are not that you guys are doing a lot if you ask me. You don't have to teach this. You don't have to provide this. You have to teach what the state requires you to teach for that student to be eligible for licensure, and that is it. And this is why our programs last however they last. If you're in Illinois, this is 1,500 hours. That's the minimum the state requires. Anything that is additional, and at that point, it's the school's discretion. It's the student's discretion if they want to go in and pay out of pocket. But we don't. These beauty schools. Let me clear out that misconception. Beauty schools are not meant to make you Brad Mondo or the next top beautician esthetician. That's not a beauty school purpose. Beauty school is there to teach you the information and the training that you need for state certification so that you can enhance your training in an advanced setting, aka beauty salons, beauty spas that are already running and have a solid clientele and have people that have experience outside of beauty school. And so this is another thing because I get those students where like, well, I was watching this person do this technique and that's not something we learned here. No, good. You shouldn't be learning something that it's not outside of the state spectrum. You see what I mean? And so make sure that you're taking the opportunity to identify who do I want to work for and why. Do I want to work for a salon that is doing good, is thriving, they already have a clientele versus maybe a salon that's built and maybe they're just starting out, right? Both a journey great as long as you're working with someone. All right. And so you want to make sure goes through this job offer or this job opportunity. Do I want to, do a couple years, get that additional advanced training, make some money? Do I want to work retail? Do I want to work commission? Do I want to work salary? Do I want to work hourly? These are things that you got to get clear about. Again, update your resume and portfolio with the steps that I've already mentioned previously. And make sure you're looking into job boards because they give you the opportunity to see who's hiring and where, right? So I like to go in Indeed, and I right now I don't need a job, but I stay on Indeed, I stayed on Linked, I stay on ZipRecruiter, Glassdoor, Simply Hire, and then there is a salon employment application or website that you can check in where they only post things within the beauty industry. And the reason why I stay on this is because again I work with students that are planning a future, so I like to see what these companies and salons and spas are looking for in employees, so then I can train them according to that. So then by the time they go in and pull the application in, they feel confident that they got those skills and requirements, right? And so you want to make sure you're constantly checking job boards. If you're in the Midwest, definitely check out CI Professional, a cosmetology page. It's not just for cosmetologists, it's for all beauty industry personnel, but they're constantly like promoting job searches. They're constantly promoting suits that are for rent. They're sometimes they give free stuff. Salons are closing and they're just wanting to get rid of things, so they're giving free stuff or selling it at a huge discount. So whichever route you're going, you can always benefit from that Facebook page. Again, CI Professional Cosmetology a group. And again, this is on Facebook. And then make sure that once you apply and send those applications, follow up on your applications. There's no shame on following up on your money. Right, the way I see it is, if this has potential of on giving me something stable, of giving me financial wealth, I'm gonna follow up on it. You know what? Let me go ahead and set an alarm. How long do you want me to snooze you on? Right, not only does it ensure that they're getting FaceTime, they're hearing that I'm really interested on this, but it also shows commitment and determination to be working for this company. And these are things that look really, really good for you as your professional ethic, as a professional ethics portion. However, if you're like, okay, listen, I don't want to necessarily go work for someone. I want to go straight for the straight for the prize and open a one-stop shop or even a salon, right? So the basic thing that you need is a solid business plan. Without a business plan, you don't get no moolah. And moolah is what makes the world go round. All right. So you want to make sure that you're creating a solid business plan, which means you're going to have to do market research. Who's your target demographic, right? Who's your target client? Because they're the ones that are going to support your dream and your goals. You can use search engines such as niche.com. And then there's other Illinois demographics. You can search that on Google. They provide additional information as to what the demographics are looking into, what people are interested in. If you type in their zip code, so it gives you an idea of what services are better off, or you know what I mean, are thriving right now in this area. And then according to that, you can create the ideal client. Creating the ideal client allows you to focus on recruiting clients that are going to stick with your business. And so if you are someone that is wanting to work for a younger crowd, you're really not gonna make a lot of movement catering to an older crowd that may not even be on Facebook, right? So you need to understand who your client is so that you can start spending time where they're at, so that you can start being more appealing to their needs, because that's how you're going to get them in your door, but that's how you're going to keep them too. We don't want to constantly have new clients, because that means they're not getting a good ROI, and neither are you. And for those of you guys that don't know what an ROI is, ROI is, it means return of investment. So the money that I'm spending on setting up this shop, I need to make sure that I'm not breaking even or I'm making less than what I invested. I want to make sure that I'm making 2, 3 times the money I've invested in there, because then that's where I'm thriving as a stylist. I'm thriving as a business, right? And so we need to make sure who our market is. We need to make sure the location and space requirements are going to be important for the type of clientele and the people we are recruiting. And so if you're in a location where there's not a lot of people that walk through that, you're going to have to do marketing twice as hard. You're going to have to do promotion or promoting twice as hard just to get people in that area. However, if you're in an area that is very busy, you have more odds of, you know what I mean, getting a lot of clients walking through your space. You also need to make sure that the space works for you, especially if you're doing a one-stop shop where you're offering multiple service. You don't want to have a tiny little itty bitty suite, right? You gotta have a space, and within that space you need to make sure that that is legally up to code by state laws. And so that means that you may need to require, or you may need to get a inspections, and health, meet health requirements, zoning and building permits. You need to go ahead and contact your state regulating agency for insurance and any other permits that may be needed. You also need to make sure that you are registering your business either as a DBA, doing business as, or LLC, which is a liability company. And so you also need to make sure that you apply for an Illinois, or wherever your state is at, business tax number. All right. Without that, you do not get to cook in the kitchen. Um, and so make sure that as you're doing all of these applications, that you're also getting a good solid budget. It is important to meet with a financial advisor so that you can estimate startup costs and funding sources. And also you have the proper investment, and the proper, or a clear view, a clear idea of how much financially it's going to take to build that business. All right. Let's say you are working from home, right? These are the basic things that you want to do. However, these are not the only things that are required to do. There's more. And so, if you're working from home, you need to make sure that you have a space where you can work peacefully. You don't want to have that set up in the middle of the kitchen. You don't want to have it in the dining room where people are trying to eat. You don't even like it. You got to make sure. And if it is a dining room, or you are going to do it in the kitchen, you need to make sure that it's separated from other areas of your house. So like say like the space that you have used to be a kitchen. Yeah, that's cool because you have another kitchen in a different area, right? Let's say if the space where you're working on used to be a dining room, make sure that there is a separation from the rest of the home. This is Illinois requirements. This is not just me pulling it out of my bajuju, right? You want to make sure that the space that you have is specifically designed for those services, not only because state requires it, but your client will be able to have that element of privacy. Um, Also, it create, or it diminished. What is it? It removes. What is it? A, how do you call it? Potential or possibility for interruptions, right? During the services. You also want to make sure that you are registering that name in that business, either through an LLC or a DBA. And definitely your business, just like with a one-stop shop or just a regular old shop, has to be registered with the Illinois Secretary of State. And so licensure requirements. Again, I'm teaching this to people who are either in the process of getting their license or have their license already. All right. If you're nowhere near done with your training, you shouldn't be here. I'm gonna let you stay, but get that license. Anyways, professional licensure. Apply for a salon licensure from IDFPR. It allows your salon to be registered. So if anybody like, oh, well, I'm going to report you, that's fine. I'm already registered, right? And so you want to make sure that not only you have a licensure, your salon has a licensure from IDFPR if you're in Illinois. And of course, if you're in a different state, it has to be your state's regulating agency. Additional permits may be required when it comes to microblading or other skin related treatments, especially if you're doing it from home. You guys, you gotta have the insurance, okay? Ooh. Anyways, again, you want to designate a professional area, and so have that dedicated space. In some areas, you may need a home occupation permit. That depends on the like city, the municipalities. You may need a home occupation permit or a special permit from your local zoning board. All right. These are the people that are like, yes, you are able to have this business in this property in this area, right? You gotta have that. Otherwise you're literally is an open invitation to anybody to or for anybody to sue you, and they're gonna go for everything you got. Which is why you also want to do either a DBA or an LLC. And it's not that difficult, you guys. Me personally, I ended up going through LegalZoom and doing my LLC through them. They took care of everything. They sent my packets to everybody and their mama. All I had to do was just keep track of, those steps so that once that was done and over, I can maintain it and make sure I'm staying up to date, right? Which is a lot easier than having to do all of the extra stuff. But you're also able to work with a business coach. You're also able to work with, I know that some banks offer opportunities for learning small, offering opportunity education for small businesses. And now even some community college and colleges out here are providing information and training on how to create a small business. So if that education comes in, the opportunity comes in, whether it's free or you got to pay, please invest in that, because this is what literally sets up a side gig from a real business that can provide you generational wealth, that can provide you financial stability. That's the difference between a side gig and a real legitimate business, is the amount of wealth and stability that you get from it. All right. Definitely make sure, and I know we all know this, but I have to put it in here. We have a list of the essentials tools we need to perform our services. We also want to check in like marketing our services. Again, knowing your market is going to help you provide promotions, which social media platforms are they using so that you have higher odds of like funneling those clients in. Client management, so you want to have some sort of organizer, right, through either a digital software or an old traditional book, where you can go ahead and do your schedules, do your payments. You have to have a separate bank account for the payments, you guys. You cannot have your payments going into your personal bank account, because if something were to happen, you will be at fault. The state wouldn't see the business. They're like, no, but that's your bank account. Whenever you are registering your business, you are not allowed to. They People have done it. However, when things go wrong, when you go through audit, when you have to do tax that year, if you have that in your personal account, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna be bad. it is going to be bad. Okay. Especially if you have other incomes. Oh, you just want to have a separate business account. And it's super easy. I got mine done at Chase. Um, to me, it was free because I'm a veteran, but I think you needed about either $50 or $100 to open a business account. And you go there, you meet with them, you talk to them, you give them your business ID, all of that information, which is why I tell you, you want to have all of that registered before you even think about, like, okay, the money's coming in. And so I provided them with my big business ID, my stay, my EIN, all of that good stuff, and they were able to set me up and take good care of me. And furthermore, if you do things the right way, you are eligible to apply, and this is for first time. You are eligible to apply for business loans, like loans that help you get the things that you need for your business, and the requirements are not crazy. So please, please, please look into that. Okay, so let's wrap it up with the last portion of it, building a solid clientele, right? Because again, clients fuel our goals, right? And so we want to make sure that we have a straight and delicious business model. We got to conduct surveys to target potential individuals. We got to conduct surveys to look at potential beauty services. We want to do surveys to see the frequency that the clients are visiting a salon, their spending habits, their preferred booking methods, their social media platform, local community events, beauty expos, in-person salons, spas, wellness center. All of these things we need to conduct surveys because it tells us who's our client, where they're at, how much they're spending, and when are they spending it on. According to their budget, you create your budget. Hear me out. So if I have Lisa, and Lisa she goes to the salon once a month, and she does the whole 9 yards. She likes her waxing, she likes her hair done, and she always goes and does her pedi, 11:11, her pedicure. I know that Lisa likes to go shopping at Target. Lisa is a mom, so she goes and participates at school events. She doesn't work full time, she's part time, so I know that, her schedule is very flexible. However, her income is also very how do I say, like, she's got a very tight income, so she does it once a month because that's what she can afford. I know that I won't be trying to book Lisa twice a month, or 2 times in a month. I know that I also need to make sure that whatever Lisa is looking as far as beauty trends, what she's looking into, maybe I saw her the other day looking at this beauty care, like a moisturizer at Walmart, maybe, or at Target. Maybe I saw that she liked the page that talks about nail art. You know what I mean? Because you can see people's social media's activity. I know that in order for me to make sure that Lisa stays with me, I need to provide in things that she's interested in. And I'm going to deliver these services in a way where she can continue to come in once a month. I also make sure that I have discounts for Lisa so that she doesn't feel like she's always breaking the bank every time she comes see me for a service. That's what I'm talking about. If I can provide all of those things to Lisa, Lisa will come to my salon every month. I can count on that. And now I know that in my budget, Lisa's money, Lisa's investment on herself in my salon becomes part of my income. Does that make sense? I know that every month, if I'm providing these things, I can count on Lisa coming in and providing those things too. Does that make sense? Now, I am realistic and I understand that there may be like things that happen that Lisa can't come in this month, or maybe she ends up moving away. But I know that using that same blueprint that I use for Lisa, I can go ahead and fill that spot in with someone else. We are not trying to book people for today. We're trying to book people for the long run. Getting them in our chair is the easy part. Keeping them in our chair so we're not having to hustle every month for new clients. That's where the task is. And this requires you to know your market. Again, what are their beauty service? What beauty service are they interested? What pages are they liking when it comes to the beauty industry? What are their frequency of spending habits? Is she an emotional buyer? Is she a analytical buyer? Is she, you know what I mean? Like, is she a DIYer? What are her spending habits? What are her preferred booking methods? What social media she's using? What local community events is Lisa attending? Beauty expos allows me to network with more people. Sometimes you can get great opportunities, not only with like networking and job opportunities, but also like products. Like, we did a beauty expo a couple months ago, and students were walking home loaded with stuff. And it was products that either they got for free or they got it at a discount, but they were able to go ahead and use it in their business. Come on now. Come on. Anyways, in-person salons, spas, or wellness center, right? Offer promotions. Again, how can we make Lisa's budget suffer less, right? But keep her here in our books. So what type of promotions do you have for first-time clients? What type of promotions do you have for people that refer people to you? What type of promotions do you have for people that visit you 3 to 5 times? A lot of these like promotions, like every 10th visit, you're gonna get this. People don't have the patience for 10 visits. You notice that if you break it up to either 3 to 5 visits, you get one of these free treatments. They're gonna come back. They're gonna literally count the visits until they get that freebie. So, like, and I get, like, the business savvy of things, but if you know your market, then you'll know that if you're working with a younger crowd, they don't necessarily, you'll have two, maybe three people that will stick through the 10 visits. Others, they're gonna lose that paper, if you like stamping it. Others, they may just like, I forgot about it. So if you give them the reward a little bit sooner, because we're in an age where instant gratification seems to be the thing, right? You'll be sure to have them come back every time. And so follow up, you guys. Please don't send your client on their way and just like, okay, on to the next. You want to make sure that you're following up with them. Me personally, I follow up with them a day after or even the weekend after, like, hey, how was your service? How everything went? Especially because I do coaching. So it is important for me to make sure I follow up with them. Some of our sessions can be very, very challenging. And so I just make it a habit of, I don't care what you're doing. You could have gotten just a pedicure, or you could have gotten like an energetic cleansing ritual. I'm going to follow up with you regardless, because I want to make sure you know that I really like I have fun with you, right? I want you back. Come on now. So just make sure you are constantly maintaining contact with them, follow up with them. I am notorious for having a script for everything, because it just makes my life easier. I'm working as a teacher. I'm doing hair on the side. I'm doing spiritual coaching on the side. You know what I mean? I'm in a relationship, and I am working with the community here in town with providing, like, I'm doing programs and events for kids here in town. I'm a busy mom. And so I just like to have a script, and then I go in, I tweak it. My goal is not necessarily to make you feel like, oh my gosh, this is so unique. It's not that. It's to let you know that I'm thinking about you, that I took the time to send that message and see how you're doing, right? And so it also kind of like sets the platform for me to talk about future opportunities, future services. Oh my gosh, yes. Next time we can look into doing a deep conditioner, and I'll throw it in there for free, girl. I got you. Now I got that person coming back for that free deep conditioning, right? And all it took was for me to go and follow up and checking on them. It's that simple, but you got to do it. Anyways, last but not least, listen, social media is making bank out of us. It is time we turn that table and we make bank out of it. So use social media to showcase your work. I love when my students do like the time lapse videos, and like they're posting things and just see like challenges, TikTok challenges, all of that fun stuff. I love it because it shows them, first of all, it shows them that they're beautiful. All of my students are unique. Oh my gosh. I got a soft spot for people. I love what I do. Anyways, but it shows them that you're having fun. It shows them who you are, what you love to do. If you want to be discovered, this is how you get discovered, right? I had a student that before she even was done with her aesthetics training, she had, I think she had either two or three brands that were sponsoring her because of her TikTok videos. Like I'm sitting here like, oh my gosh, that was you. And so, and I have another one that's in the same place. I don't think she's getting sponsored yet, but a lot of people know her because of her TikTok social media. And when they found out that she's in our school, these people are relentless trying to book with her. And she's already building that, and she's not even like, she's got maybe 4 or 5 months to graduate, right? So get that exposure by creating time lapse videos, creating content. Sit here like me and just do a time or do a live where you're unboxing a kit, or you're doing a quick little mini session, a facial mini session, things that get you out there and get people like curious about who you are and what you're doing. All right, I'm almost done, I promise. Anyways, so I know that it's just what, probably one person on here. That's okay. So I won't open the floor for discussion. And if you are commenting on it, I'm not gonna see you guys. I'm just now learning how to do all of this live streaming and all of that good stuff. However, I do want to, before I wrap this up, I want to send you with the key topics that we talked about today. And so, get your cosmetology, aesthetics, barber, nail technician, whatever license you need to get that license out of the way. You don't want to have to wait. Don't keep putting it off. That you're losing knowledge every second you spend. And if you need help studying, come see us. Go back to the school where you got your certification from. Let them know, hey, I need to prep for state boards. Again, it is in your best interest and it is in their best interest to get you to get that examination done and taken care of. We are, as an institution, and again, I'm just going to keep that very, very general. We are rated, so we get a grade for how many students are getting that license. Use that to your advantage. Number two, choose a business structure. Do you want to go solo? Do you want to go work for someone? Do you want to do an internship? Or you want to go straight for the goal and create an actual beauty salon? You got to have a set business plan. Who is going to be your client? Where is this going to be? How much money is it going to cost? And how much money you will need to invest? What resources are there? Small business grants, small business loans, what training and opportunities these communities are offering? This is all your business. So make it your business, right? Get the information. Check out IDFPR for more information on any type of permits, licensures, inspections, insurance that you may need, and make sure that you build a solid business plan. All right. Again, make sure everything is registered and good to go. Establish a professional location. And if you're just now like, okay, I don't have the location yet, then establish a professional presence on your social media. People need to know what you're all about. That's what they want to know. And once they know what you're all about, they'll figure it out whether they want your services or not. And that's where you have a lot of control. So that means that I'm gonna go ahead and okay, Lisa, I see you. This is what you like. Look, I offer this too. And I may do it in a direct way where I'm like, opening new services, or I could just make it very nonchalant, like, oh, today I got this client and we got to do this. And all of a sudden I'm recruiting not only Lisa, but all of the clients that are like Lisa, because they're going to fund my businesses. All right. Make sure your performance survey. I feel like that's always the funnest part because we love to people watch, right? We like to see what people are into. We're already doing it on social media when we're scrolling past and seeing all of the updates and things like that. Make that use that to your advantage, right? And so make sure you're surveying. You want to know what people are spending money on, how frequent they're spending money on this. You want to know where are they at? Where are they shopping at? What are they doing? Because it allows you to be placed in a situation where you can reach out to them, right? You can cater, you can appeal to them. Network, right? We want to network. We want to look at internships. Internships shouldn't be costly. Honestly, if a place is charging you for you to be an intern, run. But look at places like, hey, I just graduated from cosmetology or beauty school, and I'm looking to shadow someone just to kind of like get an idea of, what's going to be the best place for me. I know that some schools offer internship opportunities while you are enrolled with them, and I know that other ones encourages you to do them outside of your schedule hours. Either way it is, please do them. You're doing yourself a favor because you're putting yourself in a situation where you're learning advanced techniques, you're building confidence, you're building experience, and those three things are going to make your client come back each and every time. So stay up to date with your trainings and certification. Please do not sleep on those. Renewal year is every 2 years here in Illinois. However, it comes quickly, and you don't want to wait till the end to, have to pay out way crazy money out of pocket for that. However, if you just recently got your license, I think the next renewal you skip it, the other one you need to be ready. So just keep that in mind. If you're fresh out of that license, you have some leverage there. But once you get that first renewal out of the way, you need to be aggressively taking courses and staying up to date with your training. All right. So you guys, this is the information. I'm hoping that on our next beauty huddle there's more people. If you guys have any additional question, please go ahead and reach out at the information provided in the description box below. Also, feel free to check out the page. I'll be posting another lesson. It'll probably be more for January timeframe because I'm gonna be taking some time off visiting family and stuff. But if you have any ideas or if you have any topics that you want me to talk about, put it in the comment box below. I'll make a lesson plan and I'll deliver it fresh to your door. Anyways, I love you guys dearly and I hope you guys have an amazing day. Bye.